Hello guys, today I'd like to announce a new project that I've just created, and it's called Scraping Kung Fu. And this particular site is some sort of a playground to improve your web scraping skills, from the very easy exercises like just to scrape the single elements, items, and further on they're getting harder and harder. And at the very end, I'm supposed to create 36 exercises to improve your web scraping skills. And the reference, why I call this 36 Chambers of Web Scraping, that's the reference to the movie that is called 36 Chambers of Shaolin, starring Gordon Liu. So if we just go to the very first exercise, we can see the poster of this film. So this is the young Gordon Liu in 1978. Yeah, he's kind of grandfather at this moment. And what is this site all about? So, for those of you who has been following my channel for quite a bit of time, they probably know that recently I've been scraping lots of kind of sites, and I have a one-time scraper series on this channel. And the problem is that you can't be 100% sure that the websites you're scraping are actually going to allow you to do that. And in case if you just did scrape them once and that's it, that might be just okay. But if you're making some YouTube videos covering that, so there might be some copyright issues, etc. So one day those videos might be blocked and I would have to delete them. Well, not sure. I hope that won't ever happen, but still, that's kind of possible. And another thing I've realized, that when I was scraping some particular site, this wasn't really about to get the information, the particular data from that site. I wasn't really going to care much about the data from the particular site, but what I was really caring about is some sort of web scraping techniques that were used to extract the particular data from those sites. So I just thought that why do I have to actually scrape some sites that were written by, like, for commercial purposes like that, when I can just create my own site, providing this sort of a playground for the web scraping. So well okay, so I showed this product to my teacher of coding. I had a good friend of mine who actually taught me coding initially, and when I kind of showed him this site, he didn't really understand what is this all about, and I had to explain him for quite a bit of time to make him actually understand what is this site actually about. Well, so in this video I'd like actually to do the same, and just I'd like to explain what is this site all about. So here you can scrape data, you can practice your web scraping techniques. So if the very first kind of level, it contains the only element and it has some items, and the task here is to extract available items and also the image source and bring them to screen. So, well, assuming that you're writing a Python script, you don't really ever need to store this to CSV file. You just need to actually print the output, just to make sure that you have extracted the data correctly. So that's the very entry point to the web scraping. And yeah, okay. So the next step is a bit more difficult. So here you already have not one but up to 50 Kung Fu movies to scrape data from, about regarding that movies. Okay, so this kind of more looks like a real world web scraping. So here is the list of films, and the next task number 3, you have to scrape elements from multiple pages. So here is the pagination is used, and if you have a look at the browser address line, you'll see that the pages are changing accordingly. So, and the new account is appearing here. So that's kind of almost, well, no, why almost? This is like already a real world example, so where you can scrape all the pages from from this side. What I've done, how I did this actually. So if you have watched my previous video, that you remember I've been building a web scraper to scrape Kung Fu movies from hkcinema.ru, and here is basically the results. I've slightly modified the scraper to extract also the country that has created the movie and the URL of the poster image. So that's it. And later on, well, I'm going to add up to 36 chambers, and we would be covering really lots of web scraping techniques. Would be trying to scrape data from API directly, scrape via the AJAX requests, trying to mimic the AJAX request like that, analyzing JSON. We'll be making web scraping from JavaScript content altering elements, like if say you use some JavaScript to alter the appearance of the content of the elements. So that's another topic. So well, actually there's really lots of techniques involved in web scraping. Also we'll be covering things like user agent spoofing and changing the headers to make the custom headers, and also using some proxy rotation. So I'll try to implement here some request limits, things like that, so this would imitate the real life site's behavior to like not maybe really that much of anti-scraping measures, but still something to look like that. So that's kind of the idea, and from now on I'm going to start writing kind of the same one-time scrapers, but this time I'll be scraping this particular site. So just to avoid any possible copyrights kind of violating, in order to avoid copyrights violating like that. So that's kind of the idea. And the last page about, so learn web scraping Kung Fu. Here we found 36 exercises to improve your web scraping skills step by step. Well, again, like when I did show this to my friend, he didn't really kind of understand what is this project all about, but well, I hope after this little explanation that would be clear for you guys. So I hope that new people would come to the channel and really learn web scraping. And my dream actually, and the idea behind this project, I dream that when I'll implement all the 36 chambers, yeah, then those of you who has no web scraping experience yet but already know Python and want to start freelancing, so after kind of completing this sort of course, so that would be the entire YouTube course containing, well, basically 36 videos covering all the possible web scraping techniques. And after the end of that course, I really hope that those of you who would go through that to the very end would be actually able to start their own freelancing career as Python developers specified at freelancing and data mining. So, well, at least those are my plans, and if they're ever about to see the world and to be completed, well, I'm not sure. Well, I hope this would have happened one day. So now I just now actually finish recording this video and start to making the scraping Kung Fu series from the very first chamber. So I'm going to cover these 3 today, and the next week on the weekend I'll be covering some more. And during this week I hope to find some time and actually to create a bit more chambers here, so there would be some material to cover the next weekend. So I hope you're excited, guys. Well, actually I am really excited about this, so let's kind of do it together. So until next time, and take care.